had a very tricky role to play because a lot of the women in the Red Stockings and those groups viewed me with suspicion. I worked for the nasty male-controlled media, so I probably was suspect. They were wrong about that, but that's what they thought. In the meantime, the people in ABC News couldn't quite figure out where I fit into this picture, but they were happy to have me cover the movement because as far as what was going on, they were completely clueless. They had no idea what it was about. I was very fortunate during that period that the head of the documentary unit realized that this was a great story. So he said, "Explain it." I said, "Yeah, oh, okay." And my first documentary was 1970 on the subject, and because they came up with such terrible titles, we called it Women's Liberation. But it did explain the movement, and mostly we shot it in the South, because I wanted to show this was not an Eastern peculiar thing, it was all over the country. Well, after that, the women who had begun to organize began to realize that political power was important, voting was important, and they wanted to be part of the political process and have power. And so the film I made, which was 1972, was the first kind of opportunity to show what it was like for women to run for office at that time, because there were practically no women in office in Congress. And the men, you know, just sort of didn't know what to do with these people. They didn't know how to, you couldn't attack them. They just didn't know how to handle it. But anyway, you will see a couple of those cases. At the time, all this organizing was going on, and we were ready for women to take on the world and run for office and all of these things. There were some unexpected consequences. All these Republican women who are running now, and they are not the same as the Republican women that you saw meeting in these caucuses. Those Republicans shared our social views. They were what used to be called Rockefeller Republicans. They were liberal Republicans except for fiscal matters and all that. But they were pretty much like the rest of us. And I think the major change is that the Republican Party today has lost those people. And I think they're going to be turned out to be independents, and the party itself has become much, much more conservative. So this was not something we anticipated. Somehow we thought women are all going to be wonderful like us. Well, we were wrong, because women are, there are all kinds of people out there. But if you're going to unleash women, you're going to have all kinds out there. And despite the fact that we don't like some of them running, it's a good thing.